This flowchart tracks how modern governments actually pay their bills. Every time a human worker receives a paycheck, a portion flows directly into a central node to fund the programs we rely on, from Social Security to unemployment. But that cycle relies on a human workforce. As artificial intelligence and robotics begin to replace labor at an increasing scale, the fundamental mechanism of this flowchart starts to break. When a human job is replaced by software, the income and payroll tax revenue attached to that specific role stops. The pipeline to the government node is cut, and the safety net branches begin to lose funding. This creates a fiscal gap. The technology making a universal basic income necessary is the same technology that is currently dismantling the tax base used to pay for it. This suggests that if the current rate of automation continues, the traditional revenue model will face a collapse. To maintain these programs, governments are looking for ways to generate income that don't depend on human paychecks. One proposed solution is for the government to use its power of eminent domain, seizing the infrastructure and code of AI monopolies to fund a public dividend. However, the Fifth Amendment includes a takings clause that requires the government to pay market value for any private property it seizes. Paying trillions of dollars to buy out tech giants would leave no revenue left to fund the public. There is also the challenge of property types. Eminent domain was designed for physical assets like land or buildings. Attempting to seize intangible assets like algorithms or training data would likely trigger years of constitutional litigation. Because direct seizure is legally impractical, lawmakers are pivoting towards tax models that can capture the wealth generated by machines within existing property laws. The shift involves moving away from taxing human wages and toward taxing the output of automated systems. One approach is an AI sovereign wealth fund. Rather than taking physical assets, the government would levy a tax on major corporations that is paid in company stock. The public would effectively hold an equity stake in the technology. This idea has reached the legislative level. Senator Bernie Sanders has proposed a 50% equity tax on major AI companies to establish a fund that pays dividends directly to citizens. Some tech leaders are also moving toward this model. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has suggested that as AI creates more wealth, the public should own a stake in the compute power and profits the industry generates. We have seen this work with the Alaska Permanent Fund. Since 1976, it has taken state oil revenues and distributed an annual dividend to every resident. A sovereign wealth fund treats AI as a similar shared resource. Under this model, the public's income would be tied directly to the growth of the companies automating the workforce, allowing the safety net to scale with the tech sector's profits. Another mechanism is the Automation Value Added Tax, or AVAT. It targets the massive corporate savings that occur when a company replaces thousands of human workers with a single AI agent. Andrew Yang popularized the idea of using a VAT to fund a freedom dividend, arguing that it is the most efficient way to capture the wealth created by digital pipelines. A VAT is difficult for multinational tech companies to avoid because it taxes value at each step of a transaction, rather than relying on where a company chooses to report its end-of-year income. Lawmakers are also considering a productivity density tax. Currently, payroll taxes penalize companies for hiring humans, while investments in automation are often tax-deductible. This tax would focus on a company's revenue per employee ratio. A firm that generates $10 billion with only a few dozen employees would pay a higher rate than a traditional business that employs thousands of local workers. These taxes are designed to ensure that the financial gains resulting from increased efficiency don't pool exclusively at the top of the corporate structure. The final mechanism involves charging royalties on the fundamental resources AI needs to exist: massive computing power and human-generated data. Just as companies pay for mineral or logging rights on public land, they would pay a digital royalty for using national infrastructure and for scraping the public's collective knowledge to train their models. This system would compensate the public for providing the foundational data that makes modern AI possible. These four strategies shift the fiscal model from the redistribution of human wages to the sharing of automated capital. The data suggests that if revenue models do not shift to match the speed of automation, the existing tax base will shrink, just as the need for a social safety net reaches its peak. However, capturing the output of machines offers a path to a sustainable universal basic income, funded by the efficiency of the tech itself. In an economy where machines perform the bulk of the work, human labor can no longer serve as the primary source of government funding. For the system to remain stable, the machines themselves will have to pay the bill.